Yeah, so it'll be good.
Um, Besides weather talk, I I might be super interested. I am super interested in hearing what has been influenced for you. And maybe you talked about it already for a long, long, long time, but like in the early years, like before you choose your own styles and so, but like before like under 12, what influenced your musical experience, like the first ones? Do you remember? Have you been thinking about it?
In my musical experiences, in what case? Oh, you mean just like in my entire life, or as far as like what I
No, no,
did?
no. As a kid, the point that you didn't have a choice what to listen to or what was influencing your path was more given by family, saying like
Honestly,
this is what we give to the kids or something.
what was it that my parents gave to me?
Yeah, kind of like I didn't choose to watch Fantasia. They just give it to me and say like, yeah,
You
hello kids,
know,
this is what happening.
the thing is that somehow I don't have any memory of like the first time that I listened to music and loved it. It was just something that was always there and that I always paid attention to and that I was always like aware of, basically. Um, I do have to say though that when you were telling the Fantasia story, the first thing that came to my mind was I still remember I somehow remember being like 3 years old. Well, not three, maybe it was like 4 or 5 years old, and Purple Rain was in the theaters. Yeah, Purple Rain was this album from Prince and this movie, and and I still remember when Purple Rain came out because I was excited about it. This is what I mean. So I estimated that this was in the theaters when I was like 4 or 5, but I still remember being excited about Purple Rain coming out because I already loved 1999. And so I'm just already like aware.
And was it also related to the ones that was standing around you saying like something is happening? Because
Uh,
you adapted it at some point, no?
yeah, I mean, I'm sure that that was there. I mean, because like the me growing up, it was primarily like a lot of like soul and R&B being played, and like a bit of jazz, and like later from like much later, about the time I was like about like 6 or 8, more like hip hop. But as far as things that I kind of like look back now and see how it influenced me, I have to say Purple Rain still, because one, the sort of myth of him like playing all of his own instruments, that always like did something to me. Like even when I was like making like a lot more music on a much more consistent basis, I think that was part of the reason why I played everything myself. How I ended up like playing everything myself. Of course, there was the sample laws and stuff that had a part to do with it, but that was also a factor. Another thing too is that there was this one scene in. Have you ever seen Purple Rain by any chance? You can say
No.
no, it's fine. I'm gonna take
Yeah,
that as
I have
no.
this whole different angle of yeah, music memories. But I
So,
feel ashamed by saying yeah.
so what
Yeah,
now?
okay, please continue. Please.
I don't know
I feel super ashamed of
why.
because I'm a big fan of this cross pollination,
Oh yeah,
but then I more look at performance art in the nowadays or modern ballet or the sound experiments that has been done back in the days, other than the fully entertainment like the shine, the fame kind of things, you know?
yeah, yeah. No, I'm very much interested in that. But I guess this is the other part though. So
But tell me, so you watched it first time and what was in your mind?
no, but this is what I mean. Like so, but this is a weird part, which probably also has a lot to do with just me and who I am, just like innately. So, there was this one scene in Purple Rain, yeah. So he was trying to like sort of talk to like Apollonia, like that was like his like girlfriend or who he wanted to be his girlfriend or something. And he had her to come over. And so he was kind of like trying to be like cool and like trying to like show off basically. And so he's just doing his thing, just kind of like his prince, like yeah, you have a seat over there, and like all of this. And then he started to like he always like played his tapes of what he might have been working on, yeah. So he played this one tape, and the sound actually sounded like a woman on the verge of like orgasm, yeah. And so like the girl that he was like trying to impress, like she was sitting over there like, it sounds like you're making somebody very happy. Um, but the thing is that then he was
Okay,
like, he did
so
his thing and he was like, no, she's actually crying and I'm playing it backwards. And I was like, whoa! Like that did like a lot of like shit to me because I'm just kind of like, not only like was this sound what I assumed it to be, not be exactly what it was, but it was actually something that some might consider to be the opposite of it. Or I don't know. I was three. I'm sorry, but yeah. it- But at the same time, there's just this part of like,
did he
if you
meant
take
it
this like, if you,
sexually? Did he meant it sexually, or did he meant it as a sound experiment?
I think that it was supposed to be like a sound experiment, actually. Um, and so yeah, so that's
Because
how it
now
was.
nowadays, when that happened, the woman can be kind of might be feeling awkward in a way of saying like, what is why is it presented in such a way? But he meant it completely different. He said like, no, it's about the technique, but it is crying, the emotion is crying. I reversed it, and now you have another attention by hearing these sounds.
Well, he didn't say that out loud. That's not what he said in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what's happening in my mind because I
Mm-hmm.
started to like looking at it. That is just kind of like this sort of cross-referencing of like implied emotions or like points of like the human experience. And
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of like, could all of that like mean? And it was definitely like being reversed because I think like some of the drums, it was like some other sounds and stuff that were like obviously reversed in there too. And so that I think was like a huge part of things on me, had a huge influence on me, as well as I think a couple of years even later, I watched this like kind of Star Wars documentary, and they were talking about like how they made the sounds. So it was like basically them going around and collecting the sounds for like the phases and stuff. And like I was kind of like that always jumped out at me as well.